I have notes to hopefully go along and not forget anything. All right, so for you today, I just want everybody to be able to record a read aloud using WeVideo, right? And using the feature that's there. It's like Screencastify. They have that within WeVideo. So what I like about WeVideo is you can use it to record screencast, right? But you can also record your face at the same time. So you can record with your webcam and do, you know what Matt showed where it was like his head up there while he was reading? You can do that. You can also just record a message, like say you want a weekly message to the kid or kids or a daily message or whatever. Probably not daily message, but 2 times a week, something like that. You can also record yourself with your webcam. You could record with your phone, your tablet, and then pop that right into WeVideo. So Screencastify is meant for only screen recording. It's not, I mean, you can record yourself, but it's more meant for showing someone how to do something on the computer, right? Or a read aloud, something like that. Whereas WeVideo is, it lets you edit, make changes. You can insert videos. They have stock videos. I'm going to show you all this. They have photos. So like Eric, when he recorded one, he did Giraffes Can't Dance. He said that in the meeting, right? I think he said that yesterday, that he inserted a picture of like real giraffes walking through the read aloud. Or sorry, a video of them. So the kids thought that was cool, right? Because that was obviously something a little more engaging. And Screencastify, as far as I know, they don't have that feature. All right, so I want to show you the eBooks specifically and how to record reading with eBook. Because everybody, obviously, you can put your camera up and show an actual physical book, but we don't have them, right? They're all in our rooms. I asked Scott when he was talking to me about the, what do you need? I said, oh, just a giant thing of books from the library. He's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So whatever. Let's see. And so I made a list of what you can use to read books from. Reading A to Z does work. Thank you, Kathy, for letting me use your login. I'm going to show that today. Epic does work with it. And then I have, I'm going to show you how to log in. It's really easy because you just use your account, your Google account, to log into Mac and Via. It's something that I usually use with the kids in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, but there are some a couple younger level books in there that you can read. And there's also some links on Mac and Via, and that's MACKINVIA, and I will show you that. There are some links to a couple of resources I'm putting in that we don't normally have, but because of the school closures, there are websites that are opening up their eBooks, so we have those there. Any questions about what I want to go over, or like anything that you specifically thought of that you want to know about this? I think that's pretty much what everybody wants. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to show you and give you a couple of tips about the options to record, or sorry, to read the books from, and then I'll show you how to actually record in WeVideo, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I am going to start sharing my screen. And share. Okay.
So are you logged into WeVideo right now, or are you logged into one of these book sites?
I'm actually logged into both, just because I wanted to show you both, right? So I'm logged into both of them, but I'm going to show you so this is WeVideo here, but I'll show you that after we talk about the options for reading aloud, or sorry, to get the actual books.
Okay.
So I'm logged into Epic. I'm logged into my Epic account right now, but what I wanted to start with was Reading A to Z, because I was actually playing around with it again this morning just to test out one last thing. So I went into a book.
Yeah.
Say that again?
I was saying you're like in the projectable, right?
Yeah, so the projectable actually does not work.
It doesn't work?
Sorry, it doesn't work for, not that it doesn't work, it's not the best option. So that's why I wanted to show you. Okay. So if you click on the projectable, unless I'm missing something, and Kathy, you can tell me because you obviously use this more than I do, is there not a way to show 2 pages at once?
No, yeah, because it's meant to be on a big smart board. So
Yep.
yeah, no.
That's what I thought. So my concern, you can definitely do it this way, but I feel like when you're doing a read aloud, I know I would prefer to have 2 pages across because there's going to be a lot of empty white space there. It's up to you. You could definitely still use it if you don't mind that. For me, I don't love that look, but that's your choice. If you don't want kids to see more than 1 page at a time, this obviously would be the preferred, would be the projectable.
Mm-hmm.
And in anything like this, I will show you in a minute about going into full screen mode. So I'm going to click the X to get out of the projectable and show you what I actually did was I went into the single-sided book. Because you remember, Kathy, how you were saying the the book might not work right because it would be upside down?
Yeah, they were saying that. The reading specialists were saying that.
If you go into the single-sided book, it worked for me. So it downloads the PDF, which I already have open here, and this is what it looks like. And I can go into any of these when you're in them and reading. So you just, I would go into full screen mode for any of them. That way it hides the rest of your, tabs or anything that you're doing. And you can just use the arrow keys. What I like is you can just use the arrow keys to turn your pages as you're reading. So I prefer this view because that's what the kids would see much larger on their devices. And especially if they're on a smaller screen, it's going to be easier for them to see the words as you're reading also. So this is just, like I said, this is a PDF and it's the single-sided book that I downloaded. Or what was it, single-sided? Yeah, single-sided book that I downloaded. So you can just, I'm hitting the arrow keys right now. So there's no clicking. You're not going to hear that really when you're reading. And the other thing that's nice, with the trackpads on some of the devices, like I'll accidentally click 2 times or something like that. But if you're on the arrow keys, you have a little more control. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so did you say you downloaded this book first?
Yeah, so it's a PDF. It just opens up the PDF file. Like you can download it if you will, or it will just open it up on your device. So every device should be able to access a PDF.
Okay.
So when I'm in Chrome here, all I did was that single-sided book. And you see down here it has it. So you can just open it. And it'll open it up in Adobe Reader.
Okay.
And if for some reason that wasn't working, the Adobe Reader is a free program that you can download on any device. But it would prompt you. It would say, you don't have Adobe Reader installed, would you like to install it or something like that. But it should be, like if it's a school device, it's going to have it.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty standard on any device.
Okay.
So that's just your PDF, and I just went to view and full screen. So you're always going to look, no matter the program that you're in, there's always going to be an option for full screen mode. Like whether you're in Chrome, whether you're in Adobe, whatever it is. And that, like I said, just cleans it up. You can't see, then you won't see my time or anything else on the top here. All right, so let me go. So that's how you would do it if you were using Reading A to Z. And everybody here, I know you all obviously, like I had to go into Reading A to Z because it's been forever. I've been in it years ago, but I hadn't been in it, so I needed to go in to make sure. So you can definitely use the projectable, but my personal preference would be the single-sided book. So the double-sided, that's the one I think, Kathy, where it will be upside down. All right, so then the other option, like I said, was Epic. And everyone here already has an Epic account. I just went into Frog and Toad are friends. And so same thing, let me just exit out to show you. Okay, so I went into Frog and Toad are friends and opened that up. And then you can click here.
Welcome to the wonderful world of reading.
I don't know why that auto-played. It didn't auto-play for me. It doesn't usually auto-play. All right, so if that were to happen to you, this is the nice thing in WeVideo. If that were to start reading, and you want to actually read it, you could just stop it, and you can edit that out in WeVideo, no problem. So I'm going to click that full screen here, and that again should get rid of all my controls, but I clicked again, hold on. So I'm going to go into full screen. Yeah, and so now when I'm reading, I would just use my arrow keys to flip. So that's going to make it, again, a lot easier for you to control. Okay, I'm going to get out of that screen. And then the last option, which would be new to you, and I have a how-to for that. So I'm going to show you really quickly, and I'm going to actually send you after this an email, and this is already linked in the library resources folder under the at-home learning. So this is Mac and Via. Oh, hold on, I gotta sign out because I want to show you how to get in totally from scratch. Okay, so if you go to the Walkit website and go to menu and library, and then click online resources, it's right here, Mac and Via. And kids can get into this as well. So for you, students have to put in their student ID number. That's that 6-digit number for username and password, but for all staff, you just click sign in with Google, which is, again, I like this feature because then you don't have to come up with another login. So you sign in with Google. As long as you're signed into your Google account already, your WHPS account, it'll come right up. So these are, so I'm just going to show you on the side, there's eBooks, databases, audiobooks, and links. So eBooks, a lot of I don't have a ton. I have some freebies that they've given us. I mostly use these for the older grades when we're doing research, right? So there are, like you'll see in here, there are some Connecticut books and things like that. Or like this Bone by Bone, when Sarah Levine came last year, I bought an ebook because that way I could project it up and read it to the kids and they could all look at it at once as well. So this is something, if it says multi-user, that means anyone in our school can access it at the same time. So technically, I know somebody was talking about at an older grade, having their kids all go on and read something from Mac and Via and then discuss it. I don't really think that would, work as well with first grade. So if any of these that you're in, you can click open now, you can add it to your favorites, and your favorites is under this little backpack here. So I like that because then I can get into something. So I added something here to show you to read from. So then I would just click open now. If it's a multi-user, you don't have to check it out. If it's one that says, one copy, then you would have to check it out. Otherwise, if someone else checked it out, obviously you would go back in to read it and it wouldn't be available. So I'm going to open that now, and it just opens in a new tab. And this is the same thing where you use the arrow keys to go back and forth. And you go to view and you can enter full screen. And same thing, if I'm recording, then I have the full screen and they just see the book. So I'm just using arrow keys to go through. And I'm going to get out of, generally when you're full screen, if you move your mouse around, it'll give you, like right up here, I've got it back where I can go to view and exit full screen. Or the escape button also exits full screen a lot of times, just like if you're in YouTube or something and viewing it full screen. And in Mac and Via, once you're done with the book, it's just in a new tab. So if you close that tab, it'll go back into Mac and Via. And then, so under databases, I have a couple of things already here, like PebbleGo. Your students, if they log in with their Mac and Via account, then they can get into all of these without another password. It's a direct link with no password in these. Zoom, I just want to show you that quickly. Zoom is a competitor to PebbleGo, made by just a different publisher. Abdo is the publisher. And I really like it. Yeah, Julie?
So, Sarah, how do our kids get their number? I mean, I know Barbara sent them out to all of us, but like, do we have to like email each parent and insert their number in the email?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Probably, yes. It's a pain, but because we don't, you know, normally if we were at school, we could print out something, right? Like I could get Barbara to print something out, or I could print something out, like, because their number is in my database in Destiny that I use for checking out, because it's their student ID in our database, which is linked to this. And yeah, unfortunately, because we can't just print something out, we would
Like,
have
is
to
that a
individually email
confidential-
each family.
Is that a confidential item? Like, can you just take your list and load it into your class email, send it out, or is it an issue if people have different numbers of other students in your classroom?
Yeah, because then they could access, like, because it's their lunch account also. It's their lunch number.
Okay.
So yeah, you would want to do it individually. That's a good question.
Okay.
You're welcome. Sorry, I know that's a pain to have to send out individually. But then at least maybe it eliminates some of the questions of how do I log in? What's this login? What's that login? Because it's all here. So I'm just going to click open now, and it goes right in without any any other, you know, required passwords. And you can go and click through. They do have a Spanish version of the animals section.
Animals.
And then where does the animal live? You can go that. You can find by habitat type. So, and they can also obviously search if they're looking for an animal. So that's just a little side note. Obviously, you're not going to use that for the read alouds, but I wanted everybody to be aware that it was there. And then if you go to links, this is where I have a link to Bookflix, One More Story, Tumble Books, and this is Tumble Math, which is new. Tumble Math, we don't pay for that, but they've opened it up for access. And I actually thought I shared it with Sharon, and she was going to share it with Mary, I think, because this is something, because it's open for the whole district, they could put that into a weekly learning plan for later. And the Abdo digital bookshelf, I'm going to open that one. This is one that you could use for read alouds as well. I haven't looked through everything that's here. I don't know what all they have. I know I buy a lot of Abdo books. Like I have a lot of these books in the library. I think it's heavy on nonfiction is my take on it.
So Sarah, I was just wondering if a student or a parent was looking for a specific novel, how do we know if we have access to that specific novel?
For this or any, you're saying like
let's say, for instance, a teacher wanted to have her, assign her students, like, I was just thinking, like, Charlotte's Web, for instance.
Yeah.
She wanted to assign it to her Google Classroom. Is there, or something like that? Do we have access to see if we have the book? So
all you would have to do is search in any of the websites. I don't think we have it.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if the upper grade teacher wanted to do a specific, maybe a chapter a week or whatever, a chapter a day.
Yep. They would have to go in. So if you go into Mac and Via, you can search up at the top. Like if you get into the eBooks, you can search by title, author, things like that. Again, I have a limited number. It's 118, right? I don't have a ton, but I definitely do have some for the upper grades. That are chapter books, but they would just have to search like you would any other website or database.
Okay.
So Sarah, do we have quick directions for that? Because I did have a few parents ask if their child could check out a library book. And I said, I'll get back to you. That's my first line.
Yes, so I have what I'm going to share with you today.
Or yeah, you don't have to do it now, just if you could.
Yeah, so I have this. It's a flyer, this little like digital flyer that you could email to families. It has a link to log in for Mac and Via, and this quick look video, if you click on that, has how to log in And I say your username and password right here is your student ID number, right? Which is also your lunch number. So a lot of the kids will actually know that if they buy lunch and know their number. Yeah, so I will send that. That's part of what I want to send to you after this, Kathy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm trying to make it easy, and I know there's like a million different resources. That's why I like this, where you can get to them all at one spot, because I know it's a lot for everybody. All right, so those are the main sources. Anywhere else though, I mean, if you see, and let me know if you see any other websites that have, you know, opened up access to eBooks. You can also get eBooks through your public library as well. So if you did those, same thing, you could record a read aloud with that on your computer. The big tip I have is just make sure you're going and trying to go into full screen so they can see it. It'll look better on video.
Sarah, so we keep hearing about Seesaw. Where does this, everyone thinks that, or is saying that we might be recording or using Seesaw. How does this fit into Seesaw? Okay, so for Seesaw, once you make a video in WeVideo, you can easily share it. I know Eric Feeney already did that. I don't have a Seesaw account. Share your video, instead of sharing it to your class, share it to your Seesaw? Yep, you can share it to your Seesaw if you have if you have that set up and all the class has access to it, it comes up in your Seesaw feed right there. It embeds it right into it. Okay. And I know Eric said he did it. Regarding the Seesaw, so usually, like, we've already used Seesaw and sent home the codes and everything. Okay. But for any families that didn't, at that point, either download the code or how do they do it now? Do you know what I mean? Like, so you have to send home that paper and they do the code, or they, so to do it now, can we? You should be able to email them the code or within, within your Seesaw account. Like I said, I don't have it, but I think in your Seesaw account, someone told me that there's an option to invite someone. I don't know where that is though. I'd have to do it by number, not code. I think so. Or you may be able to invite by email. I'm not 100% sure. Okay.
Right. So does Scott look at that as it's not equal if not everyone accesses the Seesaw? Oh, no, because as long as it is something that is pre-recorded, right? So he keeps saying, you know, the asynchronous and synchronous, right? Synchronous meaning it's not recorded like our everyday teaching in school. Obviously, we're not recording everything, but everyone can be there and have access to it. So as long as it's something that's recorded, you are totally covered. If a parent is not putting their child into Seesaw, right, or they're not joining, it's not that we're prohibiting they're making the choice not to. Okay. But yeah, I saw Julie said Eric will know. He will. He definitely will. Like I said, I don't have a Seesaw account. I guess I should sign up for one just so I have it and can go in, but because I don't use it, you know. Right. But definitely, this is all stuff like I've already talked to Scott about this. This is all approved and good to go. The district is actually looking at trying to get free WeVideo stuff for everyone because it is a much better solution. Okay, so now that we've got that, I want to actually go into WeVideo and show you a little bit around there. Let me okay, we're good there. So let me go into WeVideo. So when you go into WeVideo, everybody got my link to sign up? Mm-hmm. Okay, so once you click that link, it's going to ask you if you want to use an existing account or make a new account. You need to make a new account. And then you can actually use your Google account to sign in, just like we did with Mac and Via. So as long as you're signed into your WHPS account, you just click sign in with Google and it'll link it right there. So it's, again, you don't have to remember another username or password, which I am a huge fan of because I have way too many. So I'm already logged into mine. Mine's gonna look a little bit different because I'm the administrator. Like you can see up here, it says admin.
but majority, once we get into editing, it's going to look exactly the same for you. So you can always create a new edit right here, blank edit. These templates, Beth was using it yesterday. The templates are fine if you have used it before and you want to go in like this morning announcements and things like that. But for what you are doing, you want to just start with a blank edit, because otherwise they put in stuff like Beth had sample text in the middle of her video because it had a certain format and it was thinking she wanted to follow that format. All right, so I am going to go into blank edit, and then it says, let's get started. Where do you want to save this edit? So you can create folders, like I have folders here, right, for recommended reads, things like that. I thought I had, oh, I thought I did that. Sorry. I'm going to do my project is fine. Okay, so we're going to do start editing. But you can create folders. So you could create a folder that is for under your projects. So that's what's here up at the top. You can go and click the plus, oops, sorry. And hover over the plus and click new folder. And this could be Read Alouds. And then create it. So you could organize all your Read Alouds in one spot. You could do like your weekly messages, things like that. If you're not doing that many videos, it's fine to have them all in one. It's not a problem. So the dashboard is where you come in. There's projects at the top. And then media is all the stuff that you can put in a video, like photos, videos. There's media that you can upload, and then there's media that they already have. And then exports are, that just means when you've exported a video, it means you've finished it and finalized it and exported it to share with people. So all your finalized videos, if you come into your account and you've already finalized a video, it's going to start in your dashboard. And people always ask me, wait, how do I get to the videos that I've finished with? It's under exports right here. So then you can see anything there. Just looking at my notes. Okay, I think that's good. Oh, all right, yeah, now we're gonna go back into the projects, or sorry, to the dashboard. Oh, you know what, it didn't save my edit. Let me go back in. So blank edit, I'm gonna actually put it under, no, I didn't save the Read Alouds, did I? I'm talking and not saving. Oh yeah, I did, right here. Okay. So when I'm in the Read Alouds, I'm here and it says start creating. So you can either click start creating or plus and create new project. So then there are different types. There's personal, collaborative, and shared. You would want to do a personal, or, and I'm sure you're probably not even there yet, you can do a collaborative if you wanted to do, like, say the Essentials team is talking about doing a video with all of us. So we would do a collaborative because we could all edit that same video. But for you, for your Read Aloud, you're just going to do personal. And you can see it says, only I can view or edit videos in this project. So we would title it, I'm going to do Frog and Toad reading. You can put a description if you want. I'm selecting personal, and then next. Okay. So this is nice because if you, so here, I actually loaded in the PDF from that Leprechaun. So when I downloaded it, you can also load it in and put it on WeVideo directly and record over that. I'm not going to go over that today. If you want to play around with it, you can. If you want to ask me after you actually get into it, you can. But you can add media from there. So I could select and say, oh, I'm going to put this whole book in here. So I'm just checking them off and then click next. All right, so you've created a project. You're going to create your video here, and it's going to be a blank edit again and start. And so now I have my media. If I go in, oh, wait, it didn't do my media. It didn't insert it. Huh, okay, that's weird. I don't know why it didn't do that. See, when people ask me, wait, this isn't working, I'm like, it happens to me too. I don't know why it's not there. You can get back to it from my media.
How did you get all those pages into WeVideo?
Oh, I will. So if you go into media and you go into, let's see, I did a WeVideo training. So if you go into a folder, all you have to do is import here. So I clicked import and I browsed to where I had saved, like it was in my downloads folder, right? So I just went into my downloads folder and selected it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Just like you were, if you were attaching something to an email, same kind of thing.
Okay. So we don't necessarily have to click all those things that you just
Nope. Nope. You can just read. My suggestion for your ease is just go in and do what I'm about to show you, which is do a screen recording and just read it from Reading A to Z or from your PDF. It'll be a lot easier for you.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm just trying to kind of show there's a lot to it. I know it looks like a lot, but it is, you can do just very basic and don't have to worry about a lot of the stuff. Let me go back in. So I'm going to go back into the projects. Okay, so Frog and Toad reading is here. Oh, of course I didn't save it. All right. Blink edit, start. It doesn't like it when you're just leaving. I keep leaving and I haven't actually done anything, so it's not saving it because it's like, oh, you didn't really do anything. So what I was talking about with stock media, that's where you can search for things. So that's where Eric searched for giraffes and it came up with a video of giraffes, actual giraffes, and you can insert it in. That my media is something, anything that you have uploaded, but it's also things that you can record. So you can record and narrate, and this is what we're going to be using is that record feature. I do want to point out that there's different ways to edit. There are two different, these three little lines, that's just your menu there. So there's timeline and storyboard format. I'll show you if I switch to timeline, it has more options. Beth yesterday started in storyboard because it's a little more basic, but then at the end she realized she wanted to make a change and she switched into timeline mode and finished hers up. I can again offer assistance with this once you get there. So storyboard is the more basic video. And you can see your max is 2 hours, but I don't think anybody's gonna do that in one video. All right, so once you're in, if you're in WeVideo in one tab, and I'm open for, let's see, where did I do? All right, my epic right here. So Frog and Toad are friends. I'm gonna get to the beginning here. So once you're there and you have that ready, you wanna have your book all ready to go when you're ready to actually do the recording. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm going to go into record and it's gonna offer you the options. Webcam, so webcam is if you wanna record just a quick message and you wanna record it right from your computer webcam. Screen obviously is just recording the screen, and then webcam and screen is the option that Matt showed you with Screencastify, where it's gonna show you and you can show the screen as well. I would suggest maybe for your first time to just do screen because I find that it's a lot easier. Because I know myself, I don't want to have to worry about what's my face looking like while I'm reading. If I mess up, you know, things like that. It's your choice. So I'm going to do screen for now just to show you that option. So you just select that and click OK. And it's going to ask you, so this is important, like this says choose an audio source. Mine is my microphone that's built in. That you just want to make sure that you don't select no audio or it won't record you reading. It usually defaults to whatever is built in on your device. So you click next. I'm going to select my screen. So this is my screen here. Oh, you can also do just an application window. That just means like if you want Chrome. So I could do here. So I'm going to go back to this and just do screen 1 and share. And it's going to count down to when it starts recording. Don't worry if you make a mistake at the beginning or it's you talking about something else at the beginning, you can get rid of that. So that's when you would go into your book. I'm going to go into full screen mode like I talked about so you can't see anything else. And then I would start reading. Now obviously if you're doing it, you'd start from the very beginning. I'm just going to read a little to show you. So it'd say, spring, Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer. Toad, Toad, shouted Frog. Wake up, it's spring. Blah, said a voice from inside the house. Toad, Toad, cried Frog. So I'll stop there. And I'm going to get out of full screen. Again, I'm talking to you, but you wouldn't want to talk at that point because you're still recording. And you can see, does everybody see, can you see that little tiny red spot there? That just means it's actively recording. So then you're going to stop sharing because it's actually sharing your screen. So we're going to stop sharing and it's recorded it. And then it lets you do a preview. I'm not sure, I'm going to try it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it on your end. You should be able to, but don't worry if you make a mistake at the beginning or it's you talking about something else at the beginning, you can get rid of that. So that's when you I can move it forward. Are you able to hear that? Okay, good. I'm going to go into full screen mode like I talked about so you can't see anything else. And then I would start reading. Now obviously if you're doing it, you'd start from the very beginning. I'm just going to read a little to show you. So I'd say, spring, Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer. Toad, Toad, shouted Frog. Wake up, it's spring. Okay, so I'm okay with that, so I would click save. Again, if you make mistakes in there, you can edit them out. It's not a problem. I'm also not that worried. You're doing a read aloud. I mean, I do a read aloud and make mistakes all the time, you know, even in school. So click save. And once you've clicked save, it's putting it right here into your media. And so this title screen, that's where you would write in a title of your, like, I don't know, did anyone see Feeney's? I'll show you on I have an example. Did anyone click on the link to his that he posted? I think he posted it yesterday, but it was in the faculty meeting. Okay, so I'll show you an example in just a minute. So then you can drag that down. It's just drag and drop. So I want to put that recording here. And then over here is your preview space. This is not going to look that high a quality because they like, I think it's for just ease of using it because this is all within Chrome, right? It's not a separate application. They don't give you the same quality until you actually finish. So I'll just show you. If I click on the title, there's the little pencil to edit. So there's the pencil to edit or the delete. So I'm going to click in here and it says title text. So I'm going to type in Frog and Toad are friends. Oops. You could say read aloud, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want, you would put, here, I'm just going to do Frog and Toad are friends. You can adjust the size, so you just use this bar, make it larger or smaller. You can do different fonts. You can do bold, you can do colors, whatever you want here. That's ugly. Let's go back to this. Okay, that looks a lot better. All right, so then save your changes. And if I like it at that point, say this was your whole read aloud, you can play it here to preview. Don't worry if you make, nope, oh, uh-oh, no, no. I accidentally clicked delete. No, hold on. No. All right, never mind. I got to drag it back. That's annoying. Sorry, I was trying to click to get to the beginning of it and I accidentally clicked delete. Okay, so I'm going to bring another title in here. There's all different options. They just give you a basic title, but you can choose. And any of these, again, you just drag them down. So that's under text. So there's stock media, my media, which is anything you record or upload, text, and backgrounds. as well. So like you could record yourself and put a background behind it if you wanted. No, I don't want this one. Okay, now this one's funky. There's all different styles. So some of them you have to type it in different, why is it doing that? I think this is one where it like moves through. I don't like it, but I'm just gonna do it for now. Okay, now let's try it. So this part right here, this little blue, it's called a playhead. That just means where it's gonna play from. That's why it didn't play from the beginning, because I had it here. So if you drag it to the beginning, or you can also do forward or reverse, so that goes to the beginning or the end. Okay, there we go. Frog and Toad are friends. So do you see how it's really fast? If you want it to be longer, you can drag it and it'll be longer. So let me just go back. Okay, so Frog and Toad are friends, and you can put music in the background if you want. Don't worry if you make a mistake at the beginning or it's you talking about something else at the beginning, you can get rid of that. So that's when you would go into your book. I'm going to go, and you can preview it larger here if you want. You can't see anything else. And again, this is not as good a quality. Now, obviously, if you're doing it, you'd start from the very beginning. I'm just going to read a little to show you. So it'd say, spring. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer. Toad, Toad, shouted Frog. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop there. Okay, so that's the basics of getting it in. You can then edit and clip and trim things. That's, I want to have some time to talk to you and answer any questions. I do want to remind you that they have really, really helpful videos. There's the help right here. And I also linked in that email to you. It's the Academy, WeVideo Academy. Those tutorials are, like I said, 1 to 2 minutes, I believe, for videos. And they break it down into how do I edit, and you can also search. So this one is the very, very basic, but under the help videos, so you see intro to media. If you're like, wait, what did Sarah say projects were? It tells you right here. It tells you shared projects and collaborative projects. And then there's the 2 modes that I was talking about, storyboard versus timeline for editing. And then this is how to publish your video when you're done at the end. But you see they have WeVideo basics, creating your videos, watching your videos. If you go into the basics, it's going to go here. Importing media, and you can search. So you could search if you wanted to edit media. You could do that. It'll tell you managing, how do I get started, importing media overview. There's lots of different stuff. I'm going to go back here.
Sarah, if we go into your library folder, all this is also spelled out in
yes. Yeah. It's in the it's in the how to record, and I'll send you, wait, did I send that? Did I attach that to the email that I did for them? I think I did. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I attached that in the video that I sent you with the invite to this.
So the video? Okay.
Yeah, WeVideo training meeting. Yeah, so the one that says how to record a video for distance learning, that's in here. Just some tips for this as well as other options. But this tutorial is actually nice. I've had some people say they went through the tutorial because it does go through step by step. So if you're in here and you want, I'm going to close this. On the side, you can also just record your voice over something. You can add music in, like I said, in the background. You could add some music at the intro or the end. And then if you wanted to add, let's just say a frog or frogs, you can look up frog. Right, so you could put an actual video. This one, this is a frog. Yeah, so if I move this in here, I just slid it in. That's some of their pre-done stuff. So now I'm going to go back to the beginning. Hopefully, if it cooperates. Okay. And I'll show you what it does now. Don't worry if you. So then obviously there you would cut out this part and it would be just you reading. In the beginning, I'm just not taking the time for that for the sake of time. Okay. Do you want me to show you? Actually, yes, I will do that. I'm going to show you the finish process. So say this was totally done. Obviously mine is not done, but I want to just show you that because those are the big questions I get is how do I get in and start something? How do I insert things? You just drag it down. And how do I finish my video and share it with people? So if you click finish, I'm going to say Frog and Toad are friends. This is the title that comes up underneath the video. You know how if you're on YouTube and you have the title of the video, that's what comes up there. So we click set. You do want to do HD quality. It's going to be better. It's going to be, so you see this says, you probably can't read it because it's really small. It says great quality for online video. This would be if you weren't publishing it online, but you want to have HD. I'm going to choose my thumbnail as the first picture of the book, first part of the book. And then there's destinations underneath. This first one just means it's publishing it to WeVideo, which is fine. You can put it in your drive. If you click on that, it'll ask you to connect to your drive. So you just click and do your account. And then you would say, allow it to access your drive. And now we've got that connected. So that would not only publish it on the web, like on the internet, but it would also put it in a copy of it in your Google Drive. I'm just going to actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it on publishing it on the web. And then export it is the last thing you want to do. And it's going to export. It takes a little bit to do that. It's not instant because it has to publish it. It's the same thing if you've ever uploaded a video to YouTube. It takes some time to publish. This one's not very long because it's a short video, but if it's a longer, say 10-minute video, it will take a little longer to publish. Do you have questions while it's publishing or exporting, I should say?
I have unfortunately a 10:30 already planned Zoom with my class, and I couldn't dare reschedule that.
Oh yeah, I have to do a thing after this too.
So when is your time with kindergarten? Because I might have to sit through that because I wrote notes, but then I'll have to.
No, I know. I mean, it's the first time you've done it, right? I've been using it and still I'm like, wait, how do I do that again? Where do I do this? In kindergarten, I'm actually doing right after you at 10:30. Oh, 10:30 to 11:30. But I will have, I mean, all next week, I do not mind. You know, I'm trying to figure out, I need to put out some open hours because I have some other department meetings and then meetings with Scott and things like that. But I can definitely put out some times. If you want to just go over it with me one-on-one, that's totally fine. Like I said, yesterday I helped Beth for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just getting her, she got a lot of her stuff in and then she just needed help with the final process.
So we should play around and then talk to you after that.
Yeah, definitely play around a little. It is something that you really do have to get into and play. I've told everyone, try it out, play around, make a sample video just to play around with it.
So if you send it to us when you're done, I'd watch that first and then try to. Yeah,
that's the nice thing is I can send this to you and you can rewatch it, which is nice. I know Eric said he got his girls to help him with one thing. He's like, how do you do this? Because they actually have used it. They use it at the middle school level, and I can't remember if they use it at the high school level. So they knew it better than him, he said, of course.
Right.
And
all right, so now. it says, you know, it's here and it's done. This link right here below where it says share your export, that's the link that you want to use you can email that to someone, just like if you have a link to a YouTube video, you can email it to them. They don't have to download anything. It just takes them to the site, but the nice part is if you click on that, I'll show you, this is what it takes them to. Now, if you're logged into your account, it's going to show your account up here. But if I log out, it's going to just show this video and they can play it just like they would a YouTube video, but there's no ads, there's no suggested videos, there's no autoplay after, it's just your video. So this is why the district likes this.
So you would just copy that link, put it into Seesaw or whatever.
Yep, that's all you have to do. Yep, you just put it into Seesaw. And that link, if you're on this page, that link is right here, share link and embed. Of course, Feeney immediately shared his on Twitter because he had to show everyone. And then he was very happy because the WeVideo Twitter account retweeted him and he was texting me about, you know, how he was WeVideo famous. So if you click on share link and embed right here, this is the link and you can copy it, paste it into Seesaw. So I think Seesaw, right, you can have like a little plus and it's a post, yes? Okay, so you should be able to click the plus for the post and then put that link right in there. And I know I saw it and it kind of shows up in your feed as a little video like it would for YouTube. All right, I hope this was somewhat helpful. I know it's a lot, but I promise, other people that said, I won't be able to use this have been able to do it.
Thanks, Sarah.
This was great.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Jen, I don't know if you want to chime in with anything.
Well, this was good for me to watch because there were some things that I hadn't quite figured out how to do and I hadn't had time to play around with it enough.
Yeah.
So this was really helpful.
Okay, good.
But just jump in and make a bunch. You can always delete them if they don't come out the way you want or
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've been making a bunch.